Hello everyone, welcome back to another how to build video. This is how to build the Christmas Valenti. So in the recent Tristan banner, she is on it, and if you may have, you've done the free summon and you may have pulled her, or you did a full rotation of Tristan and you may have pulled her, I thought I'd make a how to build. I was lucky enough to get her from the free multi, so it's cool. There's a little extra box CC, and she isn't the worst character ever. Decent CC, and let's get into it. So she's currently level 60. No, wait, no Super Awakening because I currently have no materials because Philosopher has devoured all of them, getting ready for LR Melee, which I'll have next Monday. On to her skills. Actually, we'll do substats. Her substats are very mediocre. She's not a crit-based character. She's more of a support character, mainly focusing on her crit defense is really what you want for her because of her passive, which we'll get into in a bit. But overall, crit defense is probably her key stat with her passive. But that's really it. The lifesteal's low, crit rate's very low, crit damage is low. Crit resistance isn't the worst, honestly, but the resistance of Pierce Rate is completely horrible. So she's not a DPS, she's mainly a support character. She's actually a control character. So her first skill is a freeze card. This is the exact same as Amelia's freeze card, apart from it doesn't freeze at level 1, it only freezes at level 2. It has to deal damage to freeze as well. It doesn't just freeze, you have to deal damage to freeze, and it also does damage based on remaining HP as well, which is kind of cool. Moving on to a second card, which is Gotha's Attack Seal card AoE, which is pretty useful to be honest. She has a freeze card and an Attack Seal, which is pretty good for control, especially if you're versing, high attack teams or teams that have only attack cards. You're versing a P Melee, the Ultimate One, Barn, or teams that have a lot of attack skills. You can just seal all of them. Also, you've got Freeze as well. Freeze is good for removing stances or just stopping someone from dishing out big ultimate damage. Onto her passive. So her passive is her key part of her kit. Unfortunately, it only works when she's in the front. But the passive is decrease the crit damage of enemies on the battlefield by 75% of the hero's crit defense. So this is where crit defense comes in quite handy. So if you actually, I'm gonna put this with gear as well. Her ultimate level doesn't really matter. Her ultimate is increased damage dealt with 50%. She's not a DPS, but the decreased damage taken is pretty useful though. Onto her gear. So her gear, you really want to give her. Where is it? I'm just gonna do this. HP crit defense gear. So this HP crit defense gear, the reason you want to do it is it's only 2 pieces. So 2 pieces give you 40% crit defense. Now let's look at a crit defense. 99%. Now let's add on 99% plus 12 plus 12 plus 24%. So she's got 123 crit defense. 75% of that is going to lower the enemy's crit damage. And if you lower the enemy's crit damage enough, their crits will be doing less than their non-crits, which would be pretty funny. So she's not actually the worst character. Of course, she'll only really excel in geared, and unfortunately, because she'll be running crit defense gear, her CC will not be the highest, which will be a slight problem. You might not be going first, but her passive immediately takes place as she's in battle, so you don't have to worry about going second and taking a lot of crit damage, because she'll be lowering the crit damage. Of course, she'll be very squishy, so maybe Retirement Link is probably the play for her. Apart from that, her relic's actually pretty useless. If the critical strike occurs from an enemy on an ally, so that does not include herself, she is not included when it says allies, the hero's attack is increased by 8%. So she can get increased attack by 40%, which I guess could be somewhat useful, especially because she is lowering the crit damage, so increasing her own attack would be somewhat useful, because it's probably going to happen quite a bit. The 40% attack would be good, so you don't end up she doesn't end up patiencing when she attacks, which is a pretty big probability she doesn't actually have the best of stats. Onto outfits. So outfits for her, these are all the free ones from events. This is her SSR one for this outfit, and you've got the UR one as well. I actually really like this outfit, it really suits her. That's the reason I've got the whole costume on instead of having the relic on. The head, yeah, this is the weapon. Not actually too bad, it gives you pierce rate, it gives you extra crit chance as well. And then the headgears, you get 2 headgears. This one is from Affinity, this one is from just evolving her, which is pretty good. Which is good, that means you have 5, 4, and 4. Oh, sorry, 5, which means you'll actually be getting a decent chunk of CC. She's not missing a crap ton of outfits. All these outfits I've got are for free, so You know, if you've been playing this game for a while, you've got all the outfits for Valenti, you don't have to worry, you only have to buy one weapon if you really want to use her, and still then I wouldn't recommend it, because she's definitely not the best. For her relic, so she gets a decent chunk of attack, 210 is actually pretty decent, 400 defense is actually very good, that's normally what defense-based characters get, between 400 and 700, and the HP is very mediocre, so overall the relic for her stats is not actually too bad. Maybe preferring a little bit more attack and losing a little bit more HP would have been the best play, mainly for her CC, but also so she doesn't end up patiencing things, because that would probably be the biggest problem for her, is that she'll end up patiencing, and that means then the attack seal won't work, or the freeze won't work, and the only really problem with her that I see, she doesn't freeze on level 1, like Amelia, but I guess the freeze on level 2 isn't too bad. Oh yeah, this card. Okay, so I knew this card is Red Jericho's card. The SSR Red Jericho. Now I remember. I couldn't remember who it was, but it just came to me. But overall, would I recommend leveling her up? Not really. If you're a big Valenti fan and you want to, then go ahead. A HP crit defense is definitely the way to go, of course, for a passive. And, you know, we never know, she may actually be useful in a boss later on that has really high crit damage, and you just want to lower the enemy's crit damage by a lot. But anyway, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.